We're sicker now than we've ever been.
I have an autoimmune disease, Hashimoto's, and I suffer from migraines.
Acid reflux to constipation,
panic attacks, headaches, fatigue, joint pain.
And not only sicker, so instead of a couple different symptoms, they might have 5, 10, 15 symptoms, but I'm seeing them younger into the teenage years, which I never did.
Hormone imbalances, digestive issues.
And so it's like a dashboard on a car, right? If it says you need gas, if you need oil, would you keep driving it? You might for a while. You might override the symptom, you might override the dashboard light, but eventually the car's gonna stop.
I went to a lot of doctors. I cried a lot because nobody will understand me.
I went to the doctors, a list of like 30 symptoms, and she said, which one is the most important for you to treat? And I said, all of them.
I've had so many tests in the last 2 years with multiple different doctors.
Every evaluation they did on me, they said, you're perfectly normal.
So typically you visit your primary care doctor and you get 15 minutes, and the entire focus is on the diagnosis. You either leave with a diagnosis and medication that masks one of your many symptoms, or you leave with no diagnosis, no answers, and lagging symptoms.
And from the doctor's side, what I saw is that we would see the same symptoms over and over again. And I was wondering, like, is this really truly effective healthcare? Are we really changing and helping people's health?
Found myself getting on more and more medications over time, like just throwing pills at me.
In 15 minutes, what can you really do but give a medication? And they would come back again with the same problem, maybe even worse. And the only time we would really have is to increase the medication or maybe change the medication.
The healthcare system was set up in a way that prevents doctors from spending the time and doing the necessary advanced testing to understand why you have symptoms, the root cause.
Your MRI's clean, your blood work looks good. You know, we don't know what's wrong with you.
I've seen over 10 doctors in the last 4 years and none of them were able to actually help me.
And since this root cause hasn't been addressed, you're often left in discomfort, or you continue to develop more symptoms, leading you back to the doctor's office to restart this continuous cycle. And what makes this root cause approach so effective and different is we spend time, do more advanced specialty testing, have a holistic approach, we educate you on the why, and we have a larger tool set to address your symptoms.
Really, it's a whole different perspective on how to look at health. In a big scale way to change people's lives is why we have embarked on this mission together.
Instead of just looking at isolated parts, we look at all of the different symptoms that are going on in your entire body and how are they connected.
Fatigue, for example, there may be 20 or 25 different reasons that you have fatigue and your moods are low.
That allows us to address the root instead of just masking symptoms in the form of medication.
So instead of using an antidepressant, we want to understand what's causing the fatigue. Is it inflammation? Is it because of iron deficiency? Is it because there's a nutritional deficiency?
And lastly, education. Empowering you to understand why you have symptoms, but also understand the reasoning behind the recommendations, because ultimately you are in the driver's seat.
It's really about putting together your puzzle in your whole picture that then we're able to give you the best outcomes.
I would say my coach was more than just somebody who was familiar with functional medicine. I thought that she was very much a teacher in the sense that she didn't just say, hey, you're histamine intolerant, or hey, you have gut issues. She actually broke it down. She helped me to better understand how these foods are processed in my body. And I had a game plan for the entire thing.
I'm off of so many medications. I don't take an acid blocker anymore. I don't need it.
I don't hurt. I'm not having any pain. I feel good. I have my energy back. I feel like myself again.
She kick-started me on a health journey that has begun to turn things around, and I have hope again.
Gritwell was so great because, again, it gave me like the tools to deal with what was going on and why.
I've seen individuals who felt like they would never get better. They full-heartedly believed there was no way that they would have a life that they weren't in pain or suffering. And so when they start to see improvement and realizing the power of their body, it's really powerful.
I'm speechless, like I'm to the point that I'm just speechless because I saw improvement on myself.
You're at a certain point in your health journey and you've tried everything else and nothing else has worked. Why not give it a try?
Just the tactical tips that Gritwell and Kira were able to provide me with, I will scream those from the rooftop.